Hi, this is Yoga by Becca. I'm Becca and this is my dog Mabel. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, I'm a 47-year-old empty nester, and my dog and I love yoga and I love to do yoga videos. If you are an older woman such as myself and you want to be interested in a more holistic way of life with pain relief and longevity with your flexibility, join my community and we can help each other. I like to promote health and wellness, mental stability and clarity, and a general overall love for oneself. So get into a seated position and let's stretch out our necks. If you just woke up, you may have some kinky stiffness there. So meet your ear to your shoulder and outstretch the opposite arm with a flexed hand position to deepen the stretch along the side of your neck and down your arm. You can gently grab the side of your head and pull down a little bit with your other hand if it feels comfortable to do that. Remember to never do anything that doesn't feel comfortable. If it hurts, stop. If it feels a little bit too strenuous, stop. This is all about doing what is natural for your body, trying new things, and just taking the time to come inside of your body and stop the intrusive thoughts. Now stretch on each side a deeper stretch. Lay your forearm down on the mat beside you and stretch over your head. If your opposite buttock is wanting to pull up away from the mat, ground it back down so that you don't cheat yourself from the full benefit of this stretch. Now let's do the other side. So a little bit about me. I live out in the country in a nice little she shed. I work from home. I have 2 grown adult children, and I am divorced. I love to run and do a lot of endurance running, as well as lift weights, and I am a huge lover of yoga. I love to meditate and really enjoy this phase of life that I'm going through right now, trying to embrace the aging process and feeling as best as I possibly can throughout it. Now do some spinal twists. Grab the opposite knee and just look over your shoulder as your body feels comfortable. If you have any back injuries or neck injuries, of course, you're going to want to take this very slow and easy and under the advice of your doctor. We're all responsible for our own well-being and the activities we choose to put ourselves through. Now, let's do Sufi grinds. On your sits bone, rock back and forth in a clockwise and then alternate to a counterclockwise. Envision trying to scrape the last remnants of peanut butter out of an almost empty jar. Now, alternate between front and back. Breathe in, leaning forward and pulling your shoulder blades back to meet. Exhale, leaning backwards on your sit bones and curving that back, touching your chin to your chest. We're going to really warm up our backs today and work on our backs. sit and lean backwards, and then lift your legs up until you're in a boat position. Extend your arms out. If it's on your heart to do so, and in your practice, extend your legs out. Cross your ankles, pull together back into crisscross applesauce. And then get into a tabletop position. Now let's do some cat-cows. At this camera angle, when I first saw this video, I wanted to cut this out because I battle cellulite on the backs of my legs. But I'm not going to. I'm going to be proud of my lumps and my bumps. I mean, after all, it took me 47 years to get them at their peak lumpiness. And also, I'm a real ordinary average person, and our legs and our imperfections are beautiful and should be celebrated. These getaway sticks have been serving me since 1976, and I'm grateful for every aspect of them. I thank God every day for the mobility and the body that He blessed me with. Now let's stretch out our ankles, our wrists, and just really get it going. First, point your fingertips towards your knees to really get a good stretch in those wrists, and then do some wrist circles. Shake it off. And then rock back and forth on your sits bones while sitting on your legs, like I am. Now, while sitting on the tops of your feet, let's lift our knees up. I think that we take for granted the muscles that do exist on the tops of our feet. And as always, I want to strengthen the tops of my legs as well. Lift your knees up and lower multiple times, supporting your weight with your arms. Now relax and rock back and forth, your head across the mat, massaging your forehead. Tabletop position, and lift those knees up. Now swing your knees left to right, left to right. Let's get some movement in your hips, wake them up, as well as set your abs into activation mode. Get up into a downward facing dog. I apologize that not all of me is in this frame. Just being an amateur movie maker, I'm just doing the best I can. Here we are in a downward facing dog. And walk your feet up until you are in a forward fold. Stand on your hands and bend your legs and touch your chest to the tops of your legs. Now let's do a ragdoll. Clasp one another's elbows and swing side to side. Now slowly roll up. Mountain pose. Reach for the sky. Breathing in and breathing out. Now paint the wall down into your forward fold. Halfway up, flat back. And melt back down again. Step back into a low lunge. And then shift your weight backwards to do a little bit of a half split. Plank. Chaturanga, as always. And then lift up into your Sphinx pose or dolphin, whichever level you're at, or upward facing dog as they call it. Low lunge on the other side. Transition back into a bit of a half split. And I like to pulse a little bit sometimes to warm up those leg muscles. Plank and then chaturanga, slowly lowering the elevator down to the basement floor, swooping up into an upward facing dog, back into your downward facing dog. Walk your feet back up into your forward fold. Mountain pose, paint that wall, slicing down. Now, low lunge, raise arms up to the sky and do a side twist. First one way and then the other. Remember, you're an elegant, strong flower. Back down again. Plank. Chaturanga. Swoop up into your Sphinx, dolphin, or upward facing dog, whichever you prefer. And then float back into your downward facing dog. Oh, now we do another low lunge. Lift the arms up, look backwards. Let's do a twist. First one side, then the other. Now your back leg, point outward so that you can float up into your warrior pose. Lean forward, hands down to support yourself. Face back foot forward, back into your low lunge. Now transition to more of a lizard. Put your hands on one side of your leg. Pull your back foot up to be on either side. We're now back into our forward fold. Feet hip width apart. Transition back into a chair. Really waking up those leg muscles, keeping them strong. Back into a lizard lunge. Arms up. I need to support myself by having my elbow on the top of my leg. You may need to as well, because just like that, we fall sometimes. Step backwards, low lunge. Hands on the side of your foot, lizard lunge. Lift up, feet slightly wider than your hips. Let's get into a yogi squat. Release all the tension in your hips by enjoying this squatted position. Beautiful. Put your hands in front of you, and we're going to play around with transitioning our body weight from our back body to our front body. Feet hip width apart. Bend your legs. Let's get into a toe touch type position. Getting up on your toes. Practicing your weight being on your toes. Now, let's rock a little bit and get our weight to transition from our toes to our hands. Your knees rest on the backs of your arms. You don't have to stay in this position. It's more about getting used to the transfer of energy. Your weight is in the back. Now transition it to the front. Back, and then the front again. Play around and experiment with momentum and what it takes and what you're comfortable with. This is going to get your body to learn to trust itself and to have more skills develop slowly. Forward fold and ragdoll, swaying side to side. Jump into a plank and lower that elevator down to the basement floor. Then pull yourself up into an upward facing dog. Now backward to your backward facing dog. Lift one leg up to the sky, spreading the toes. Pull in knee to nose. Lower foot down. Try to get your balance. And then both feet facing forward, pull your arms up into the sky over your head. Cactus your arms out. Now hinge your body forward over top that bended leg. But then straighten your leg into triangle pose. Bend your leg now, releasing the stretch. Reach down and grab your ankle with one hand, the mat with the other hand. And we're going to try to get our body into a standing split position. I lack the flexibility that many others have. I'm a little jealous, but I'm working on it. So my leg is not up at the sky. This is as high as it goes, guys. But that's okay. It's all about doing what your body's able to do. Plank, chaturanga, keeping your elbows close to your sides as you lower down, upward facing dog or Sphinx, and then transition to your downward facing dog. Lift the other leg up now, reaching for the sky, spreading those toes out, finding space. Pull forward through knee to nose, and back up to the sky. Step forward, both feet facing the front of the mat, pulling your arms up, cactus your arms. Reach for the sky again, and then hinge your hips. Slowly straighten the bent front leg to a straight leg. And now you're in triangle pose. It's perfectly acceptable that one side of your body may have different capabilities than the other. We are not symmetrical people. Transition your weight on that standing leg. Grab one ankle perhaps in the mat with the other hand, and lower up that opposite leg to your standing split, as far as your legs are flexible to do so, mostly focusing on balance and your leg being able to hold your body weight. Afterwards, relax back into a squat, yogi squat, then jump into a plank, chaturanga, and then just lay. Regulate your heart. It might be racing a little. Now lift your legs up, your arms back into your locust pose. You're flying now. This is great to warm up for what we are about to do. This practice, we're going to start experimenting with wheel. When I was a young girl in gymnastics class, we just called it a back bend, but in yoga, they call it the wheel pose. So let's get into a tabletop position. And lower your shoulders down into puppy pose. Rest your chin or your forehead on the mat. Really opening up the top of your back and your shoulders, and deepening that bend in your lower spine. It may be hard to believe, but I actually have a lot of damage in my back. I've been in a car accident, and I also have rheumatoid arthritis that has actually done quite a number on my lower spine and then my neck as well. I don't take medicine and have not gone to specialists. Instead, I decided to change my diet and do yoga. And I'm happy to say, for me, this is what works. And the flexibility and the agility, movement, and wellness in my spine has really improved with yoga practice. In your downward facing dog, cross your leg over the other and twist into sort of a half back bend. Maybe you might want to call it a reverse tabletop. Flip your ankle over and then flip yourself over. Your hips and your heart are pointing to the sky. Get back into your downward facing dog. Jump forward. Balance up on the balls of your toes and lower down and sit. Hover before finally letting your bum rest on the mat. Let's take a moment. Now reach in between your legs and grab your big toes. Slowly extend your feet up and out. Rock back and forth on your sits bones and your hips. And then just take some time, straighten your legs front ahead of you and then off to the sides as well. Just experimenting with expansion. While resting on your back, get your heels to rest closely to your bum. Put your hands on either side of your head by your ears. Lift your hips high up into the sky. First, progress into a bridge. Then you can go a little more and a little deeper, lifting up not just your bum to the sky and your hips, but also your upper back and roll up on your head. Then to alleviate any pressure on your head, lift your arms up into a full wheel. See how I'm progressing? You don't have to do it all at once. You can ease into it. Now lift all the way up, and there's your wheel. Beautiful. Grab your knees close to your chest, and let's rock back and forth to massage every bone and muscle in our back across the floor to nurture and provide it some love because you just did a back bend. And if you're 47 or 50 or 40, whatever your age, if you're an older adult such as myself, that's really miraculous. And you did a wonderful thing. I like to now rock back and forth on my feet, touching my knees in front of me, really stretching out those legs out the top. And then I am going to do what they call a camel pose. You sit back, grab a heel, and stretch backwards into this variation of a back bend, the camel. As a young girl, we did something similar to this, but standing, and it was the beginning of a back walkover. But in yoga, it's camel. Meditate as you need to. Tabletop position. Now let's try to work out any kinks or humps in our backs by snaking from a downward facing dog and rolling our spine forward into a plank position, and then curve your spine back up into your downward facing dog. Introducing movement and curving motions to really work out any stress that may have accumulated during the week. I do work from home, but I work a desk job at home in my office. And hours after hours of being hunched over a keyboard in front of a monitor can really take a toll on your body and really create that upper back hump that a lot of older people struggle with. So let's keep our backs nice and healthy and combat that by introducing lots of other types of movement. Let's do some more back rolls, massaging the back, giving it lots of love because you've been working it really hard. This is the happy baby. Grab each foot. Keep your lower spine on your mat and just roll back and forth and just enjoy. Bend your legs up to where it's more of a 90-degree angle, and let's do some side-to-side windshield wipers. This will help strengthen your side obliques and also massage your hips. Straighten your legs out and windshield wipers. Touch those toes to your extended arms. Center. Let's get that hip mobility perfected. Just lay here as you need. Notice the energetic change around you and how your body feels. Calm down any racing of the heart, any racing of the mind. Fully relax. When you feel ready, pull yourself up and you can continue a meditation practice in a seated position. Or if this is all the time you have today, then end your practice. And I hope that the rest of your day is a wonderful one and that you have a great weekend full of joy. Get outside. Spend time with friends, loved ones, and just think about all of the great things that you did by taking some time for yourself and balancing your life. Not only balancing your life and your body, but balancing your mind. Yoga is so wonderful for my mental health. It really helps me get life into perspective and to put myself first. Thank you so much. If you enjoyed this yoga practice, I hope that you will hit the like button and subscribe. And maybe share with me your channel and your yoga videos so that we can learn from one another. Have a blessed rest of your day. Mabel and I both thank you and say farewell.